Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by In the Money Stocks. Today is Tuesday, April 24th, 2012. There's a lot to cover once again, so let's get right into the charts here. We'll start off with the usual S&P 500 E-mini futures. You will see the futures trading up by 4.5 points to 1367.50. Pretty decent little pop this morning considering yesterday's sharp decline. Again, when the futures are up, you must realize that the dollar is usually lower, and that is the case this morning. So, once again, dollar is lower by 11 cents, was down a little bit further, has rebounded up a little bit. But when the dollar moves up, the market moves down, and that's just the way it is and the way it will be until things change. Right now, a stronger dollar deflates the stock markets, also brings down commodity prices such as oil, such as gold, such as copper, such as iron, and etc. So just watch for the dollar. Dollar is still the most important chart that anyone could have on their screen. If you don't have a chart of the dollar, you can always look at the UUP, and this is better served after the opening bell. But once again, UUP will do the trick for the most part. But everybody should be looking or viewing a U.S. dollar index chart at all times throughout the day because the markets continue to trade inverse to the dollar. All right, let's get underway and talk about a couple of things out there. One, we'll talk about gold and silver first. You'll see this morning that gold is trading higher by about $10. That means the dollar is lower. GLD this morning is trading right around the 159.49 level. You'll see that that is higher. Yesterday it closed right around 159.07. So a little pop there for the GLD. And as we know, spot gold is higher by about $10 this morning to 16.43 an ounce. Let's take a look at oil today. We'll start off with the USO. You'll see the USO trading right around 39.20. So upticking a little bit, not by much, but upticking a little bit nonetheless. You do have spot crude up 41 cents to 103.52 a barrel. So you have a little uptick in oil, an uptick in gold, and that is all because you have a weaker dollar. And that's really all it comes down to. So keep a dollar chart up at all times if you are trading oil and gold. But right now both are inflating higher just a little bit. We'll talk about what's going on out there. It looks like Europe had some auctions today, which went successfully. I believe Spain sold some 1.9 billion euros in short-term debt. I think may have been some other auctions out there as well out of Europe, but I'm not sure exactly what they were. Either way, there was some positive news out of Europe. And again, if nobody wants the debt, the central banks buy it. It's not that big a deal. Uh, I don't understand why they make such a big deal out of it. When the bond yields go up, the central bankers will just buy the bonds and bring the yields back down. That's pretty much how it goes. But either way, right now the European markets are higher across the board. You have Spain and Italy both up about 1%. France is up 1.3%. Germany, the German DAX, just up 0.4%. And England, which can print its own currency, the FTSE 100, just up about 0.5% this morning. So nonetheless, they are positive across Europe. Asia was a mixed bag of tricks last night. You had the Nikkei, I believe, lower by 0.75%. Yep, that's about right. 0.75%. Nikkei was down, and then the rest of Asia was basically slightly higher. You did have the Shanghai flat last night, so no change on the Shanghai. Basically, Australia was flat as well, and the Indian Sensex was up about I'm going to say 0.6%, up 110 points. So decent little pop there, but we're not going to make too much out of Asia today. Again, we're just going to watch the dollar. Whatever the dollar does, the markets will do the opposite, and that's what you want to watch for. A couple of stocks out there reporting earnings. I can't get to them all, but I'm going to get to a few that I got to look at earlier. Netflix is one. The big news out of Netflix, stock is getting hammered this morning. Closed at 101.84, trading down to around the 86.20 level. You can see here, stock will have some short-term support at $80.50, and then more support around $82.78. It might have a little support at 70, but use the 62.87 if we get down there just to be safe, because this stock is getting hammered today. So that's a big drop for Netflix. You can see it here. Trading yesterday around 101, 102, all the way down to 86. It's a huge decline. and definitely problematic. Another tech stock that's selling off again today is Symantec. This stock closed at 1807. This morning went down to around $16. Stock does have support at these levels, which are $15.93 and $14.95. So those are going to watch. You're going to watch for those levels. There could be some bounces there. Already, it looks like you're getting a bounce off a Pierce of 16 already. So that support level has already been tagged at 1592, and now you're getting a little bit of a bounce. But there is support there. There could be some support at 1550. However, it's safer on these kind of gap downs to go with the more extreme level, and it's 1590, and then it's going to be 1494. So that's what you want to go with to look for any intraday bounce on Symantec. Let's take a look at AT&T, wireless carrier, trading up a little bit to 3114. This is a decent gap up. The stock looks fine. I would not be looking to fade this one or short it. It does have some resistance around 3150, but either way, it could go higher. I can't rule that out. Still looks like a decently, the gap has some strength to it, so it could go up a little bit more, especially if the markets hold up and do well. Let's take a look at 3M. I believe they had earnings as well. Stock is trading right around the $90 level. It's a little bit overdone to the upside now. Has resistance around 90, but this is a strong gap, so you don't really want to fade this one or short this one. It looks pretty good today. I don't know if it gets much past 90, but really, if you own it, you probably want to try your stop up there and lock in some profits. If you don't own it, you don't want to do anything with it. You don't want to short it. It's a fairly strong gap today on Triple M. Let's take a look at Big Lots. Big Lots is a little bit smaller today. Stock is trading down at 37.70. That's a pretty good hit on Big Lots. The levels I'm looking at right now, you're going to have to probably look at a little minor support at 37. This is a strong gap lower, and then 35.71, 35.75. In there, I think that's best bet. The stock may get down there today as well, so I think your best bet on this one for a bounce, intraday bounce trade, is going to be around 35.75. Okay? Let's take a look at Hershey's. Ticker symbol is HSY. Stock had earnings this morning. It looks like it's trading up to 64.53. A little extended here at these levels, but nonetheless, it's a nice little move. I don't think I would do a lot with Hershey's here. If it got to around 65, 66, make it 66 to be safe. Maybe it'll fade there, but it looks like a strong name today, and I would leave it at that. Sometimes the stock does trade some lighter volume, so it has a tendency to run a little bit. I would not get in front of Hershey's today. Hershey's looks pretty decent today. Let's take a look at Texas Instruments. This stock is trading up as well. Has resistance around 33.60. Also more resistance around 34. However, it is a strong gap. So if it starts to run, be careful getting in front of this one. It is a strong gap up, and you want to watch for that. I normally don't mention Apple Computer, but today we're going to talk a little bit about it because they do have earnings after the bell. The stock is down a little bit this morning, trading around the 65 level. Pretty good intraday support around $546 if it did trade down there. I know that seems a little extreme, but it's only 20 points on a big stock. It's really not that big. If you just move the decimal point over and turn Apple into a $56 stock, it's like it would be down $2. So again, if Apple gets down there intraday only, it would have some support at 546. Okay, but Apple is reporting earnings after the close today. The market will be waiting on those earnings. It's going to be very, very big and important. Apple is the largest stock by market cap in the entire stock universe. So we'll see how that plays out. Today, also, the Federal Reserve will be hosting a two-day event, FOMC meeting, on their rate decision. Again, the announcement will come out tomorrow afternoon, but nobody expects the Fed to do much here. But they'll probably dangle the QE3 carrot out there once again, as they normally do. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. But the big news today will be the Apple earnings after the close, and we'll see how that all plays out. But once again, Apple will have intraday support at 546. With that said, everybody, have a great trading day. We'll see you all on the charts tomorrow, and we'll do it all over again. Take care now.